welcome back to Composer Reacts, a series where we take a look at film, media, and video games and talk about the music in it and why it works. The movie we're going to talk about today is Swiss Army Man by the Daniels. Now, this is a really great movie by the Daniels. It was their first one just before Everything Everywhere All at Once. And what's really cool about this movie is just how insane it is. It's a movie about a farting corpse whose erection points its way back to civilization. Paul Dano finds himself stranded with this corpse, and he develops a sort of relationship with it. The directors described it as a movie where the first fart will make you laugh, and the last fart will make you cry. And what the composers did, the composers being Andy Hull and Robert McDowell of Manchester Orchestra for this movie, is really a great example of what musical storytelling means. They went above and beyond in their score, the way it's conceptualized and the way they achieved it. You'll notice that all of the instruments are human voices primarily. There's a little bit of percussion here and there throughout the score, but it's all stuff around them in the woods or clapping, body noises. And this is a really cool way to approach a score where you're stranded far from civilization and there's nothing around you. These characters are literally in their head. What's also a nice little tidbit is the vocalists you hear on the score are the lead actors themselves. They got Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe into the studio to record these pieces of music, which awesome.
So this is it. This is the life I've forgotten. Oh, when I get back home, I'm gonna ride the bus every day.
Now, in this scene, what I think is really interesting is you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. The first time we hear a musical reference, being Cotton Eye Joe, it's almost comedic. It's like, what is the most annoying song that can be stuck in your head? And we're here. Yet, it's a very beautiful rendition of Cotton Eye Joe. And then we go to this moment.
Oh my God. She smiles. How do you feel it?
Now, the Jurassic Park theme is a recurring idea throughout this film, but this is a really interesting way that we can take a thing that's kind of comedic, like the farts, and turn it into something that actually has like a meaning and is beautiful. And I think that's kind of what the point of the film is. There's a lot of this sort of like, all right, silly, stupid humor, boners, farts, poop. But then at the same time, it's like a really beautiful film about what it means to be human, to be alive, to have connection with somebody. And kind of continuing on this theme, we go into another part of the score that I think is interesting. The big montage cue. But we start off with the clapping. You can see the demonstration of body sounds and the interplaying with the environment. But also, like, these characters are thinking and writing songs about what's happening in front of them. We got popcorn as popcorn's popping. We got them singing about a montage during a montage. And And you may have heard that there's this idea that music is the third layer of the story, where the writer's the first writer, the director's the second writer, and then the composer is the last writer on a film. Using a cappella music like this and adding lyrics is a great way to add a whole other layer of subtext, but also comedy, tell jokes in the score. Like, there's not many films where the music itself tells the score. And in this cue, you can really hear what I kind of consider the defining sound of this movie. It's these a cappella type arrangements with body sounds, but also it's a sort of minimalism like Steve Reich, where we have these repeating textures and we have this like dense sort of harmonically driven melodies, I would say, that create an evolving soundscape. And then we throw lyrics over it. It's a comedic montage, but they're also narrating it. killed a raccoon. No, we started a fire. I have to admit I'm enjoying your company. We're getting so much more subtext than just a basic like violin line. And then we take this a step further for the river rocket scene. Now, if you listen, these two singers are singing almost like a duet with competing messaging, but it creates this overall just really rich and beautiful texture that I think it explores what the film is about. We have one singing, "Heartless, how were you heartless? I saw your sadness and made it my own. Crazy, totally crazy. We're fucking sailing and we won't ever die." Completely contrasted on the opposite end, "Tell me if you don't mind, the immediate wonder, the fatal attraction that told you to run like the wind. We've got to depend on each other to function now. And I want to climb in your brain, devour the webbing, and know your opinions. Are you still afraid of the shame? I promise I'll fix it. It's all here for a reason. You just have to remember that we're all here for a purpose, and the universe picks its time." Like, these are two very different approaches, but it works so well. So this is a very absurd movie, but there's some really interesting ideas here. And even the lyrics are a little absurd. They do have this push and pull exploring a complex idea of like life and death and isolation and community through this sort of these textures and lyrics. Before we get into another thing that's really interesting is Andy Hull and Robert McDowell actually had the Daniels direct a music video for them for Manchester Orchestra, which is how they ended up getting this gig for Swiss Army Man. It just goes to show, like, you never know where your gig's going to come from. It might be a friend of a friend, or it might be someone who you hired before for something else, and they might hire you in return. But I think that's actually an interesting idea for composers, like, maybe work with directors more by hiring them, meet people, do the cattle call for directors. Anyway, pulling it back. So, yes, the whole concept for this score is these characters are stuck in the woods. There's no civilization around them, so they are making the music themselves. They are singing what's around them. They are having songs stuck in their head that we have to listen to. They're using their body as percussion and the things around them. But here's where it becomes not just an aesthetic, but a musical storytelling device. As we get closer to civilization, we get more and more real instruments. Check out this final cue.
Just want to check in, make sure you're okay. All right? This must all be really overwhelming for you, so just let me know if you need anything, okay?
Excuse me, ma'am. I have something I need to show you. If you come with me.
Good luck on your interview.
So I found this phone on the body. And there are these images.
Manny, there you are.
You know.
What
We're
is
going
this?
live.
Now in like reality, we have synths, we have strings, we have much more recognizable sounds, not just characters stuck in their head. And I think that's a really interesting way we can look at musical storytelling. It's not just about the chords. It's not about the textures and the melodies, or even the lyrics when you can be explicit like this, which never happens. It's about how the music changes over time, like the characters and the character situation. These guys are stuck in the woods. They have nothing around them. They're in a sort of absurd fantasy land where a farting corpse with an erect penis comes back to life and brings them to civilization. Back in civilization, we have much more grounded, real sounds to contrast all that. And yeah, so this score is really, I think, something special. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest score of all time, but it definitely is one of those films. Like if I was teaching a filmmaking program, this is one where I would put it in solely for the score and how it uses music to tell the story without just being music. If there's a film, video game, or anything you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comments. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. I am going to be trying to put this out every week as well as other composer related content. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful week.